Hi honeys, it's Michelle. In today's video, I'm going to be going over last night's episode of 90 Day Fiance the Other Way. If you haven't seen last night's episode, please go back and watch it before you watch this because there will be spoilers. Deavann and Jihoon. Last night we had more yelling and I'm getting tired of hearing it. I don't know how you feel, but I could do without it. I could do with just one episode where they're getting along. I'm at the point where I feel that Deavann should either forgive him and give him an actual chance or go home. I'm not going to leave and I'm just going to keep punishing you over and over and over again. That's not fair to him. It's not fair to her. It's not fair to the kids. It's just time to either forgive and move on and really give it a good Boy Scout try or walk away. She was really upset in last night's episode about him not watching Drusilla when she had told him to. I don't know if the cameras were playing with me, but it didn't look like he was ignoring her the way that she said he was. And he did go running right up and get her. I've seen this happen to parents 100 times, and I'm not saying the outcome couldn't have been bad, but come on, he's a human being. Give the guy a little bit of a chance, okay? So then you have Deavann talking about how, of course, his mom takes his side. Well, I'm taking his side too on this one. So then her mom comes out and she's screaming at him too, talking about how she doesn't forgive him for what he did. And he brought up a very valid point. I just became a father. And she says, well, that's no excuse. Actually, I feel that it is. And the reason I think it's an excuse is, okay, I don't care what age you are. If you are single and you're living more of like a playboy, have fun, party lifestyle, it's going to be quite the adjustment, especially in your 30s when you become a parent, because you've been single for so long. You've been having fun for so long. It's not like he's 18 becoming a dad. And common sense would say to watch children. But like I said, I've seen this happen to quite a few parents that I consider to be very good parents. We're all human. It's hard to watch kids all the time, especially when they're always running off. He's a human being. I mean, gosh, we all make mistakes. Hindsight's 2020.
Can I add something to that?
Well, sure. Brad wants to add something.
Having been in the situation multiple times myself, you also have this huge question mark of can you and how do you discipline?
Right, because it's a stepchild.
Yes. And then you also get the you're not my real daddy line all the time.
Right. And the poor guy's getting attacked at every single turn. So, of course, he's going to really think, well, should I do anything? I mean, I'm going to get accused of being in the wrong no matter what I do. So then Devon's mom really goes overboard and threatens to kill him if it happens again. I don't think that's very mature to be threatening death upon somebody because they made a mistake. I just don't think that's right. Then they show a little preview at the end of the episode for next week, and it looks like her mom has finally gone home, and it shows Jihoon's mom giving Deavann kind of a hard time, and I think it's funny. I think that she deserves to have a little bit of a hard time because she's really been putting Jihoon through the ringer ever since she got there. And I know he's not perfect. I know he's made mistakes. I don't agree with it. But I'm also a big proponent. If you're going to give somebody a chance, give them a damn chance. Don't say you will and then just keep dit. And that's what it looks like she's doing to me. That's not fair. That is not fair. Give the poor man a chance or go home. Ariela and Vinyum. Okay, in last night's episode, we saw Vinyum going to spend time with his family. They wanted to talk now that they've met Ariela and her mother. And it sounds like they're just not really on board. He said, well, I don't think that they trust her. Okay, They don't have to. I think it's quite natural for families to not trust their family's significant other, especially if they've been hurt a lot. Like if somebody's had a bunch of relationship turmoil, that person's family is not going to trust the next person that shows up. They're just not. It's going to take a while. You have to give it time. They do seem really concerned about the cultural differences and the religious differences, and is she going to take this baby and leave just like the last one did? I don't blame them for thinking any of that. These are all very valid questions. So then they show him taking her to church because she's talking about allowing the baby to be baptized into his faith because he believes so wholeheartedly that he wants his child to be baptized as a Christian, which I am all on board for that. I think that that is really wonderful. I think if religion's not real important to you, but it is to your spouse, you should let them have that. I think that's only fair. So I applaud Ariela for being open to that. But then at the church, they find out that she's got to be baptized as a Christian as well if the baby's going to be baptized as a Christian, or at least over there, And this doesn't sit very well with Ariela. And I really have no opinion about that. I think religion and baptism and everything, here I'm going like this, like I'm praying as I'm talking. Sorry. I think religion and baptism are a very personal experience, and I don't feel any judgment any way about her decision. But I do think it was really, really wonderful that she was so open to her son being baptized into her fiance's religion. So I'm just going to kind of leave that one at there because I don't have any opinion or judgment on it either way. But then they show next week. Mama's going home and Ariela's not happy about it. And I know what this is like, having to move away from your whole family. I went through that before. And while I don't regret it because I learned certain things along the way, I was also still in America. So it was a little bit easier to see or talk to my family. If she feels that strongly about wanting to be near her mother, maybe she should go home. Maybe she should. The other thing is, I don't know that she really trusts him with him working with his ex-girlfriend. And then when they're also showing the previews for next week, she mentions that she doesn't want to be alone with him now. Wait, what? What do you mean you don't? Why? Why don't you want to be alone with him? What does that mean? What's going on here? That really gave me some red flags. If she's worried about being alone with him, because you would think, I'm sorry, I love my parents, but when I'm around my parents every day, they're visiting, I can't wait to be alone with my husband again. We like our alone time. So that brought me a little bit of concern as well. So I guess we'll see what happens, but I still don't see this couple working out. I have a feeling she's going to fly home. Why did I do that? Going to fly home? Still, it looks like swimming. I give up. She's going to fly home, I think. Kenneth and Armando. I love talking about Kenneth and Armando, you guys. They're my favorite couple. Last night, they were having dinner with their friends and family. Everything was going wonderful. I almost felt like I was there, except I was not eating Mexican food for dinner, but I kind of wished I was, so I could really feel the experience. But it looked like a nice restaurant. It looked like they were having a great time. And Kenneth said he really wants Armando's family to know that they're engaged. On this one, I can see Armando's apprehension. However, they know that he's moving in with him, and they know that Kenneth is going to be playing a big part in raising their granddaughter. So I'm not sure that it's too big of a deal to tell them that they're engaged. Maybe it'll bring them a little bit of comfort knowing that there's more of a commitment with these two. They have had time to really let everything sink in and hopefully by now accept the relationship. Not saying they have to like it, but at this point, I'm thinking they probably accept it to some degree. It is what it is. They're not going to be able to change it. So I do hope that Armando does tell his parents that he's engaged. And that was all they showed of Kenneth and Armando. That was it. Just that little bit, just that little tiny inch of viewing pleasure for all of us of Kenny and Armando. I almost wish they would have their own show, because I've mentioned it before and I'm going to say it again. This is the only couple that's keeping me going here. I love watching them, not so much everybody else. So they did show in the previews for next week that there's some woman that goes walking by making some kind of a comment about the two of them being together, and it really upsets Armando. And that was kind of all they showed. So I don't know. I'm assuming this woman is a stranger, but I don't know. Or have they gone back to pick up his daughter and maybe that's a family member? I'm not sure. I hope it's a stranger, but he seems really shook by it. So I hope he's okay. I feel bad. I just feel bad. It's got to be terrible feeling like your relationship is not accepted by your culture. And I think Kenneth and Armando are going to work out. They're probably drinking margaritas right now on the beach together. Brittany and Yazan. I'm going to tell you, I was worried about this. I really was. I was scared. In this episode, Brittany and Yazan are going to meet with his parents, and if they don't agree to them being together, that's all she wrote. But I was really scared. I was worried it'd be like the last time, but on steroids, like a full-out brawl might maybe breaking out. I was scared. And it turns out it went really well. Yazan's uncle went with them, and he had a discussion with his dad explaining why it's important to be together a little bit longer before you get married these days. And I thought he did a really good job of saying, hey, if they have time for her to really explore our culture and our beliefs and decide if she wants to become a part of it, the chances of them getting a divorce later are a lot lower. Amen. I could not agree more. And his parents, when it was explained to them that way, they seemed very happy and accepting, and they decided to give it time. Yay. But on the preview for the next episode, Brittany's mad at his parents again. So it's like, some of these stories are kind of like Groundhog Day. So I still don't know how much hope I'm holding out for them. I'm holding out more hope than I was on the last episode, but then when I saw previews for next week, I don't know how I feel now. Jenny and Sumit. They're starting to grow on me a little bit more. I know. But they seem so happy together. And yeah, I had a good time watching them mixing paint and painting the wall and just being a couple. Apparently, he's going to be meeting with his family. They're not coming to their home, which is a good thing. He's going to go see them where they live. But that's all they showed, and they didn't show them in the previews for next week, so I'm assuming they won't be on next week. Now, I was under the impression that next week is the last episode. Let me know if I'm right, though. Maybe it's not the last episode. I guess we'll find out. But at this point, I'm holding out hope that Jenny and Sumit can make it work, because they do seem genuinely happy together. And I know it's been quite the tumultuous run, but I think that they're going to stick it out. I've got hope for them yet. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Let me know what you think of these couples. And we'll be back next Tuesday to talk about the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a great rest of your day and a wonderful week leading up to next Tuesday when we talk about next week's episode. I love you. Bye.